Everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token. Of course, your host, Superman. Good to be back. And of course, we've had a bit of a market correction overnight, so it looks like that's just the way it is. And the cat's just coming. So how about that? The market correction and the cat's is coming. Is that a bad sign? I think it might be. That's like, was it a black cat walking across the road? Is that the old Irish tradition or something? Anyway, the cat's coming abusively. All right, so let me have to get rid of the cat here. Here you go, catty. Yeah, that's the one. Let me just cat's trying to ruin my setup here. That's just the way it goes with cats. Cats will do what they want when they want. Oh, cat's still doing it. Cat, it's an attack of the cat. I had the attack of the spider, and I got the attack of the cat. This is made for an exciting start here. Let's find the culprit here. Well, he's getting all aggressive too. That's not helpful. You just cut me. You cut me pretty hard there. So that's just the way it goes. That's dramatic start of this live stream. No one expected it. I didn't expect it. This is the way it goes. Let's have a look at some of the stuff here. We're gonna make sure the audio's up and running. Audio's looking good. Yeah, dang it, a cat. I had the spider. Remember, it was Superman versus Spider-Man, and I lost that. That's pretty hardcore. That'd be a really cool movie. And of course, was that? I guess it's Catwoman, but it's not. It's a male, so it would be Catman. What's that? Batman? No, Batman's a rat man. He's a Batman. The Batman's a Batman, so it's got to be the Catman. I don't know if is there a Catman cartoon character. I don't know. I don't know if there is one. Anyway, getting back on thing. I've just got to stop the bleeding. The bleeding is hardcore. I've got to stop that. Cats are a formidable adversary for humans. That's for sure. Just the way it goes. Let's get into the chat first, and we're going to get to the charts because we've had a bit of a correction overnight. So that's my time. Obviously, I'm in the future. So what time is it here in New Zealand? It's 10:47 a.m. Friday, 6th of May. So already on Friday. I know the rest of you are still on Thursday, probably Thursday evening for most of you. But it is 10:47 a.m. on the 6th of May, Friday. So the fun day, they say at work. The fun day at work. That's the way. We got a few people in the house. Hex Force, what's up, Superman? Woo, good to see Hex Force. Resage is in the house as well. The cat's gone crazy this morning. I'm not sure what's up with him, but he's just gone psychedelic. Countdown, 9 days to go. Absolutely, Dave. We're going to talk about that, Dave, for sure. Craig's in the house. Woohoo! Good to see Craig and a Dinglewolf as well. Hey, congratulations, by the way, to Craig hitting over 600 subscribers. Awesome stuff. If you haven't subscribed to Gen Hex, Craig Wadding's channel, does amazing live feeds, including really big panels with a lot of content creators on it. So definitely check out the channels tab. You'll see Gen Hex, Craig Wadding there. Go subscribe. Dinglewolf's in the house. Woohoo! Hex God Turtle. Turtle Power might be slow, but that delaying gratification to win the race is in the play. I agree with that, Hex God Turtle. Good to see you in the chat here. Here we go, says Presology. Dang of the cat, says Presology. Yeah, it was hardcore. Taffrin's in the house with the money bags. Presology says, where was your cat when the spider came along? He wasn't anywhere. He was down the hallway, I think. So this is no good. Craig says, this looks like a job for Superman. Unfortunately, I've seemed to be losing the battles here with Spider-Man. And now with, I guess, Catman. We'll call him Catman. That's the one there. Mobius is in the house. Oh, hi, all. Hey, good to see you, Mobius. Hey, welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are having a good time. Now, remember, markets do go up and down. So that's just part of life. So, yeah, crash. It's Hex McKenzie crash. It is a little bit of a crash on the short term. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way. Just to let you know, 15-minute chart. And a good cartoon is Top Cat. Yeah, Top Cat was amazing. So, Dinglewolf, well said. Top Hat was my number one cartoon as a kid. So good that you remind me, Dinglewolf. I had actually forgotten about that. Lyle Hayes in the house there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good to see it as well. And we got excitement from Taffrin as well. Oddflish King says, waking up to a dip, buying more. That's true. I think we're going to have a look at we've got the 15-minute chart, so we're going to have a look at the time frame. So let's get into it, folks. We've got a few things here. So as I said in previous videos, this is a 15-minute timeline, but it applies to all timelines pretty much. That if you have 3 or 4 attempts at something and you fail, you go down, right? And of course, we had 3 attempts here, 1, 2, and 3, and we failed. We failed, and it went back down. It was doing okay still, we're above our long-term 15-minute chart here with the line. So we're just the support line here. We're holding that pretty well. As soon as it broke that, you know it was going to go down, right? So that's the probability was that it wasn't just going to bounce back up and get back in the trend line. See what we had a little bit of that here. That it was going to break down on Hex price, and it did break down. And of course, here we are down here. It actually got pretty low, actually, if you think about it. Got down to 16.8 cents. So that's a fair decrease. We take it from the top here. That it was a 16% correction. So that was a decent correction there. So good observation. Someone said that already in the chat there. So that was what we had, 16%. We're fortunately that we're back up now, but we're gonna have to pull out the time zone now to see where we are. So that's where that's what we're at the moment. We're down about 12%, 11%. So we're gonna get rid of this support line here on the chart there. That is broken down. And now we're gonna have to pull out. We're gonna have to pull out to. Let's go to the daily chart and see where we are from a bird's eye view. So we'll have a look at this. All right. So here we are on the daily. You can see that our green candle just been pierced there a little bit. We might have to move our green candle over a bit, but that's a good thing with our green candle. We have to delete that as well. That's I just realized that's still there. We have to take our green line and move it over a bit. Maybe we'll have to be a bit more pragmatic. We've got this running through the middle of May to the 22nd of May. This is our launch phase period. Remember, Richard said 50-50 mid-May and 75% a week later. So those are those vertical blue candles there. And we've got our targets 20 to 22 cents. Very key that we break that so that we have a higher base when we get some gamification from Richard around about the launch phase, that we're much higher. The higher we are, the bigger the pump. That we want to be higher before he gives us any market lead on the Pulsechain launch to get the biggest pump. So that's where we're at the moment. All right, so we're sitting at 17.5 cents at the moment on Hex. Obviously, we were down at 16.8. That's our low. So far in that red candle there at this stage. So we'll have to see. Our big pump is still to come, and we've had to push out our pumpamental green line there as well. So let's zoom in on this, and we're going to hit the old calculator here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 9 days to go, as someone already pointed out in the chat there, till the mid-May. And we've got about 16 days to go till the 23rd of May. That's pretty much that. So we've got that much to go. That's what we're waiting for at the moment. So let's see how we get on over the next day. We were definitely hoping. I was hoping when I went to sleep last night that I'd wake up to the price having burst over 20 cents. Even if it was muddling around in the 20 to 22 cents, that would have been cool. Unfortunately, it's come back here, and it's probably a culprit. So look at the whale bot, and of course we'll see the last 9 minutes here. We've got some staking here. 9 minutes ago, 22.6 million in staked. We've got the big 3 arrows stake coming out on the 9th. It's currently it's the 6th here in New Zealand, but that's probably the 9th is probably UTC time, so that will probably be about the 5th. Still got about 4 days for that big billion Hex stake to come out. I think that was I can't remember exactly, but I think it might have been a 730-day stake. So that's around 2 years. So we'll see about that. What they do with that, we're going to find it. Seeing out for them, it's a dream come true. For us, that's the only wild card that we don't really want in the game. We'll see how we go though. If they play ball, then that's going to work out all right. But of course, they may actually impact ratio trading if they decide to ratio trade. That'd be interesting. But these guys have to be very careful with their values. So I think the more conservative approach will probably play out. We will see with 3 arrows. Now let's have a look here. We got this. We got 100 million here staked for 11 days. Another short staker OG account. I haven't done any analysis on this. I don't track these. So it's just too time consuming. You kind of almost got to specialize or just spend a heck of a lot of time in it. I don't want to do that. I have done that to a little bit in the past, but I don't really do it anymore. Obviously, doing YouTubing takes up more time. So we had 1.2 million sold here. I haven't tracked this account, see whether it's a serial seller, but 6 hours and 7 hours. There have been sharks that have been serial selling. I think there was one the other day, maybe 2 of them that were selling out on average. So What 11 hours ago, 77 million Hex staked for 6 days. So we have a lot of stakes coming in, getting restaked. Really short days too. So they're playing out for Pulsechain, no doubt, some of these big stakes. There, yeah, so 7 hours, 4.9 million sold. So yeah, quite a bit of selling in there. No doubt there's a culprit to those accounts. I haven't looked at that, as we say. Let's have got a couple of comments in there as well. It's got this is fine. Yeah, that's true. Some people, it's now in the house. They're good to see you. PulseDodge says, hey, red candle, leave our green candle alone. I agree with you. Yeah, Christos in the house. Good evening, Superman. Just got home from my new job, hoping it's the last job I ever have to apply to. Pulsechain save us. Christos, I'm with you on that. I think there's a lot of people that are with you. They know what Hex price did. They know what Ethereum did. So you know what Ethereum did, and of course Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex on Pulsechain, the triple are going to be amazing. I think the incentive token might surprise to the upside as well. And so yeah, we could have 4 tokens at least, plus obviously Hex on Ethereum that do pretty well in the future. This is assuming, when I talk about this, it's assuming market stability, right? Not talking about a 2007, 2008 event. We're just talking about normal kind of average market conditions. Tintop's in the house. What's up? Good to see Tintop as well. And Sandy Beach says, hello, everybody. Woo-hoo-hoo. I had fun playing around with the testnet today, including Mintra, Hedron, etc. Yeah, so there's a few user interfaces around, and they're really cool to play with. So there's the Fiat one. Mintra's staking is out there. And stuff like that. So definitely pretty cool. Now we're waiting for liquid loans. We're waiting for liquid loans user interface. We're also waiting for the sacrifice balances that Jesse the pit boss has teased us that not teased us in a child teasing way, but like a teaser, as that they'll probably come together. And they got to hope that Pulsechain doesn't launch before they launch their testnet, right? It doesn't matter to them though, because that just won't be public. But it probably would be quite interesting for them to see people playing around with it. That's for sure. Crypto7 in the house, still up nicely on the week. Hey, Crypto7. Yeah, it certainly is. Good to see Crypto7 in the chat there. Woohoo! Another big content creator, so doing a great job. And what else we got going there? Charles Stone says, Superman. Hey, Charles, good to see you in the house as well. Hey, we're just at 50 people on the viewers. We got 18 likes. 50 people watching, 18 likes. Smash that likes, folks. It's easy to do, nice and free. Helps with the algorithms and gets out the content as well. So go for gold on that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell, and if you're watching afterwards, of course, leave a comment. I always respond to those. Angus Brute's in the house. 100 million Hex stake for 11 days. Coincidental. Launch date. Of course, they're timing Pulsechain. They're all trying to time Pulsechain there, Angus, for the most part. Unless, of course, their past behavior has been 11-day stakes. J-Pon says, what's up, Superman? Hey, good to see J-Pon, Hex Token channel member. We've got quite a few in the house. We've got Angus Brute, Sandy Beach in there, Tintop as well. It's now. Great to see so many. We've got Hex Cod Turtle, so many Hex Token channel members in the chat there. It's great to see. All right, so we're at Maxi at the moment, 20 cents. Maxi had a pullback too. I haven't seen whether there's much crossover between swapping between some of these tokens. It's just a lot of time to spend to do that, right? To keep tracking all that. And of course, I've just got overnight. It sort of all happened in the election. So 20 cents we're at. We actually went back down to 17 on what did we get down to? 19.3 cents on Maxi. Let's switch over to the Hex price to see the ratio. And Maxi's still trading at a 13.79% premium. And of course, it was pretty high at one stage. What's the highest we had? We had a premium of 22.64%. I kind of felt that if it get up to like 40%, certainly there would have to be a sell-off of Maxi, surely, at a 40% premium. And of course, 20% is pretty high by itself, so 22%. But really, the high back here was about 20%. That seems about right to me. 40% would be quite, it could do it, of course. Crypto can do lots of crazy things, but of course the sell-off has to ensue, surely. Even with the limited supply of Maxi in the pool, relatively speaking, so 2.7 million Maxi in there. So let's take 2.7 divided by 294.3. the total Maxi that was issued, that's just under 1%, so 0.9%. So that, you know, it's pretty small relatively speaking. Sometimes you might typically get around about 3%, I think, for depending on the token and the liquidity pools. And that's the stuff that people want to, you know, are going to buy and sell. So the more scarce that is in the pool, the more likely the price is going to pump. So that's where we're at the moment. So 70.6 cents. I'm sure that we'll probably get a recovery. I don't expect it to keep breaking down. If it does break down on the next chart, you know, looking at 15.5, and Maxi's still looking pretty strong. Maxi probably got a little bit of a pull effect on Hex at the moment, given it's just launched here. But isn't it interesting? If you look at the ratio here during the launch phase, Maxi was just trading along pretty much at 1-to-1 for the most part. A couple of dips, but pretty much 1-to-1. A few sell-offs there, but largely that. So how many sell-offs? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much 4 sell-offs there. Just shows you that sell-offs are in the game for Maxi, even at 1-to-1. And of course, you see people. If you've got an average here, somewhere an average in the middle line here, for example, let's put a line here. If you had an average somewhere in there, you're going to get dips in the game and premiums in the game if you're looking at that. But so far, you know, say a 14-15% premium looks pretty good. Let's see how long it can sustain this kind of premium in Maxi. Maybe it could even grow. Like I say, if it gets too far ahead of itself, surely it's got to be sold off. This seems like the way to me. It's too tempting for people. Of course, you're claiming when the price is at a premium, particularly against the treasury price, which is pretty close to the Hex price, right? Because it's only just started. Then you're basically selling the future value of the stake. Now, it's not far future value, but it's definitely a future value in time. And of course, you're capturing that value now. So that's why when the premium gets too high, surely it's got to sell off there. Hedron has pulled back, man. Hedron, look at this. Woo! Hit the low today. What was it? 10,061. It's currently at 1081. Remember, the all-time low is 553. About that. Let me just double check that. Make sure I'm not giving you porkies here. 553 back on the 3rd of March there, and so that is basically double that at the moment. So that's where it is. But of course, after a massive 12x rise, you know, expect to see that. So let's have a look at how far down that is now on Max. On Hedron, and we are down 85%. We have been down that new low. That's a new low, by the way, today, 86%. So down a bit further there. It is a DCA area in my view. Obviously not investment advice, but of course it can always go down to 553. But at this stage, that's where it's kind of sitting. Now, I think on the liquidity pool, there is a big, someone said OA blocking selling wall, but I haven't confirmed that. But the liquidity apparently, obviously, it's paired to Hex now too. So that definitely slows down its ability. Once again, you have to a whole ton of retail buying or some big whales coming in to move the price at this stage. I'm sure it's going to happen. And then maybe this is a decent accumulation phase after 86% retrace. That's a DCA area now. The other side, of course, is the amount of tokens. It's not as bad, 74 trillion now on the blockchain of Hedron. But remember, a lot of those in wallets that are unlikely to move them. And of course, with the low liquidity in the pool there, that's not a lot of incentive. So there's $600,000 in this Hedron USDC pair. And so there's not a lot of incentive. Let's all look at the other one, the other trading pair for Hedron USD, Hedron Hex. There's 1.9 million in that. So there's 2.5 million in those two pools. And I'm not sure if there's how many others are, but those are the two main ones for sure. So someone could sell down a little bit there back into Hex. We'll see how that goes at this stage. I think most people will just be holding their bags, but never say never. 95% are in the game. Could see that. PLSD, PulseDogecoin, your airdrop for Hex TCA holders. If you stake before the 20th of April, you qualify. Just remember that if you stake before the 20th of April, you qualify. But of course, that they've got on the Git file there on the devs, GitLab. I think they have a little file there with all the actual qualified addresses on there, so it's going to be on them. And of course, $2.63 is the current price. So definitely broke down. That doji didn't save it, and here we are down here at the low. so far, $2.45 for the day. And yeah, just a downtrend there. And this could be unrelenting. Could keep breaking down further. And I've when it was up at $3 something, I was advising a few of my friends to sell their bags. Sorry, folks. But just looked a little bit weaker. Even with this doji, I was still not convinced. And so it did break down. So they're all happy. All my friends are happy. They're happy friends. Anyway, so that's cool. We've got PulseDodge itself. So this is PulseDogeCoin. Of course, this is the second one, right? PulseDodge is the original here with the old little Richard Hart doggy JPEGs, whatever. They're pretty cool. I think most people think they're pretty cool. Anyway, so that's sitting at 1 cent, really just been moving sideways for the most part for the last day. Pretty much last day here, almost 1.1 cents, not quite there yet. So this might be an interesting phase for this project. I'm still not sure about the NFTs that are coming up. They're going to be minted during Pulsechain launch every day. Something like 5 NFTs get bidded on, I think. But I might cover that in a bit more detail on another video. P33, another meme coin, but this is by Pulse Leads. So if you're not familiar with Pulse Leads, don't talk about it too much, but Pulse Leads here, or Free Pulse, I should say. Free Pulse Leads. Why do I keep saying Pulse Leads? Free Pulse is the site here. This is kind of like a faucet gambling site. I don't really want to talk too much about gambling sites, but that's what they do. They're going to be onboarding, giving away some free Pulse apparently. So cool, we've got that, and of course this is one of their projects, P33, basically a meme coin. I guess the supply is relatively limited. That's currently trading at 54 cents. Has been recently as low as 28 cents back here on the 29th, but has managed to get itself pushing back higher. Today's a red day too, so a bit of a red day for everybody. The red days are in the game, right? They're in the game. But as I say, we've got 9 to 16 days to go until hopefully Pulsechain launch. Now, obviously, we just don't know when it's going to launch. We've got our best indications are from Richard. So we're going to watch Richard talk about that. Best to hear from the man himself. And let's hear. This is the last update he gave us on the ladies' show on Discourse Syndicate, I think it was. So let's listen to this one.
Since we're targeting mid-May, he would have been launching Pulsechain on his birthday.
All right.
So we like May 14th, and we'll
all close. It's basically like the final step is like staging to where you practice the things that need to happen for mainnet, and then see if you can get anything to screw up, and do that over and over again until it's going to be fine for mainnet. So we're not in staging yet, but we're getting close. Like SAC totals it's looking really good. The AMM bot now works against basically all the Uniswaps, which is nice. What else? Is that it? Yeah, so like it's DevOps, which is making the launch stuff work right. And then AMM's pretty much done. Well, I got to analyze what AMM did. So we still have to see what the outcome of the logic has done and make sure that it makes sense. So now, I mean, mid-May, we're targeting it. I'm 50-50 mid-May, 75% a week later, maybe. I don't know. I think we could do it. It's really, they're unknown unknowns, so we're close. We're running out of stuff to do. We're really running out.
All right, so that's Richard Hart himself. So you know, it's hopefully we can keep these time zones here, these timelines. What else we got there? We've got a couple of comments, so we're going to go to that. Where else are we here? So what's good, everybody? Coconut in the house, good to see you. What's up, Superman? And of course from J-Pond, good to see you in the house there. 100 million stake for 11 days, coincidental? Yeah, I think we talked about that. And Charles Stone said, woo, good to see you. The Eurasians in house, so are we going down with BTC or not? No, we're going to do our own thing, Eurasian. Obviously, the market had quite a decent rise. You know, we wrote, you know, over the last few days, we ended up going up quite a bit. So I don't know where you want to start it from. Let's start it from the 26th of April. You know, we were up, 61, 62%. So it's a pretty good gain. Just obviously having a red candle day there at the moment. Actually, I haven't got the charts for, let me pull that up. Let me get up to that. So We got the market there. Oh wow, yeah, bit of a red day here. So I haven't checked this. So this is down quite a bit. We were over 39,000 when I went to sleep. This is a pretty big correction there. So definitely that may have had an impact there too. So definitely in play there. So yes, it definitely has an impact on the sell-off there. George Tucker's in there. What's up, guys? Jim Rat Crypto's in the house. Good to see you, Token. Woo! And what else we got going? Maxi will be 2x the price of Hex end of year, says Jim Rat Crypto. Wow. That's definitely possible, definitely in the game. But yeah, that should be a while away yet, but we'll see. Pumped up, says Jim Rat Crypto. You know what I'd like to see about Maxi, Jim Rat Crypto, is doing a stake every year. That'd be cool. Seeing a stake every year would be pretty neat. I'd like to see new products though, similar, just with different variations. That'd be pretty cool. Like a capital gain, a passive income hybrid. That'd be pretty cool. Obviously, you could do that with a third-party token or with Hedron. Or it could be a way of doing that. Jim Rat Crypto is pumped up. You are, dude. You're killing it. So, and of course, you're probably excited as we are about Pulsechain coming. So that's gonna be cool. Brazil's strong prediction. Yeah, super strong. For me, it's a 40% line. I find that's gonna be really hard, but definitely it has a chance of doing something pretty good over time. If it kept a premium over time, that'd be impressive. And it definitely every year it could get re-rated, so it's not out of the picture at all. Crystal says it seems like if these whales are trying to time the launch with their short stakes, we can expect an EHX sell-off. Hey, talking about the Maxi asset, you could get up to 10x higher if you think about it in some ways. If you looked at it from that point of view, you could say, well, Hex is 9.5% staked. Now the underlying token has that many stakers in it. Maybe Maxi should be 100% stake. Maybe it should be 10x on that. I don't know. Interesting thought. Crystal says it seems like if these whales are trying to time the launch, their short stakes, we can expect an EHX sell-off after the launch. This is I think Christos, that is going to be some issues there. The Pulse token, as I said, and even PulseX for some people with the ability or the inclination for a riskier token would be into that. So yeah, that's definitely in the game. Jim Rackett says bruise. What else we got there? We'll jump through here. There's a lot of private conversations going on. I'll jump through some of these. Hex Machine. Hedron is a massive buying opportunity. I think so too. Good buying opportunity for Hedron. Yeah, I think so. And like I said, after 86% pullback, it's probably a good DCA area. Sacrifice check had an update today. Really, Sandy? Man, these guys are killing it with the sacrifice subject. I have to update it again. On the community tab, I keep updating the sacrifice balances. So it's I have to do it again today. That's a couple in a row, man. They're hardcore. That's a good sign, right? That's a good sign for Pulsechain launch. So getting those sacrifice balances to the end. Hedron will evaporate when the auction starts going. Yeah. They're going to have to super burn on those auctions there, Bruce. There's a 74 trillion in the market at the moment. So they're never going to do that. Charles says, Briz, you're right. It seems like a good time to buy it. Yeah, well, definitely after 85, 86. If you think the product's good and it's at 85, 86, good DCA. I think it'll be a while when the auctions come up, though, Briz. Another 2 months at the earliest. We had a bit of lending at the beginning, wasn't it, in the first week? It was quite highly priced, so maybe that might end up going to default. I think, was it David or somebody said, I can't remember, some person, content creator that's in the know, was saying that there was possibly a couple that may be leading to liquidation. But, still, it's only been around for so long. Let's actually go to the Hedron there. How long has it been around for? Hedron has been around for 68 days, so plus a day at 69 days of the launch phase. Another 69, another 31 days to go in the launch phase. So you can still get a 4x bonus at the moment, but going down to 3x pretty short soon. So yeah. Let's jump back to the Hex price here. What else we got going? Brazil says, I heard something about the PulseDogecoin founder burning his own coins. Do you know anything about that? No, I do not, Brazology. If that's happened, that's new news over the last 24 hours. Obviously, I've been sleeping most of that time. So I'll definitely look into that, though. And Sam and SB says, hi all. Leaving Bakersfield for home, 2.5 hour drive. Listen to Superman. Hey, Sam, appreciate it. Lots of love out to you, man. Safe travels. And property review in house, loving the Hex. Says property review. Absolutely, we love Hex. Hex Token on Free Pulse site, they have a message system where you can leave messages for any blockchain address and receive them. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's definitely good for onboarding. So I like that. Thanks, Briz. Shifty Sheep in the house says the LA tokens were burned as they were only. Are you talking about the BA tokens, Shifty Sheep? Tokens were burned as they were only there to provide starting liquidity. Oh, the LA tokens. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because the liquidity on PLSD started off at $1, right? $1 there. Let's pull up the old PulseDogecoin site there. I'm sure there was something on that. And we're going to hit the find button. We've got the find button. Liquidity. Liquidity. Let me spell it properly. Liquid. I've forgotten how to spell liquidity. That's terrible. Liquidity. It's just because I don't know. My copy's not kicked in there. I had sufficient Uniswap liquidity there. Let me go down. I'm not sure what's explaining that. Hex liquidity provider address 50,000 PLSD has been minted by the liquidity address LA to provide liquidity on Uniswap at launch. This address has the single purpose to provide a market to buy or sell from day one. You must have no expectations of the profit of the work of others. Okay, so cool. Yeah, there's these other. So the OA gets 10 PulseDodge, and the benevolent address, which is pretty much the founder's address, and looks like it gets 10 PLSD for each claim, and that's going to happen at the end. I think that happens at the end of the process. I think so. At the end of the 100-day launch, I thought that happens. I have to double check that, but I thought that was the case here. The OA and BA mint function can only be run once at the end of the 100-day claim phase. So that's just remember this volume is going to be additional volume to how much a PulseDodge is there at the moment. The OA is probably just going to sit on it, but I presume they might sell it. Who knows? But the PLSD could slowly sell some off. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, no big. I don't think they're going to do a big dump there. I think they'll probably just sell it off over time, possibly. I don't see why they would do it. They could do it, but I mean, I don't see why. Anyway, so cool. So far, that project looks like it's ticking along okay. What else we got there? So if we take that, we're going to have a look at the contract PLSD. We've got 3,539,593 Pulse D in the circulation. If we've got a burn, surely that would show up here on the transactions. I'm not sure how long ago that was doing. This one here, is this one here 50? Oh no, it's 50. I'm not sure how far it goes. 1 hour. This is long. I'm not going to go all the way because there's a lot of way, but you think the transaction would show up here somewhere on the transactions here. 3 hours. So I'm not sure when that news came out, if it did, blah blah blah. But it could be here somewhere. So yeah, it's 3 hours ago. I'm not going to go all the way through there. Let's have a look at number of holders. The rich list here, 248,000 this one, 135 in this one. That's a ton of PLSD tokens. And the contract here, we're going to go down and see how many people have claimed. 14,161 have claimed so far. Wow. Okay, it's doing pretty well, man. 61 and divide that, say, by 91,000. That's just an estimate of the total amount of wallets. That's about 15.5%. So that's up about 1 percentage points over yesterday, from what I can tell. So 15.5%. That's pretty impressive. Could be slightly higher if my base number is lower. So it's 90,000, say. That's pretty impressive. So a lot of them have sold, of course. We've got holders there, 10,256. So yeah, I actually think this probably, if there's no shenanigans, which I don't think there will be, I think this could end up doing pretty well, this project. I just wish they had named it something else. I just wish they hadn't named it PulseDogecoin, because we already got PulseDodge. I know it's kind of a sneaky, cheeky play, but they should have named it something else, honestly. It's the one thing that irks me a little bit. All right, cool. We got Hex at 17.7 cents. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart, and boom, there we are, 15 minutes. We need some support lines as well. Who else do we have? Let's have a go look at the Hex price on the log scale. So this chart's going to go all the way back to the beginning of Hex, and we can See, good old Hexologist, he controls this advertising, I'm sure of it. Every time we come on here, Hexologist. I know there's other people that do advertise on there, but hey. So this is our log scale, and of course this is Hex at the beginning, 2nd of December 2019, all the way up there. We're on that beautiful pump channel, and of course we hit around this date here, we hit 10,000x approx, close to. I mean, it depends on how you're going to look at the number, but pretty much 1,000,000%. Excluding staking, of course, just the market price. We broke down through that in February, late February there, moving in here based on my chart. So this is on the log scale. We're going to do the weekly, I think it was. I think Stephen was talking about the weekly there. So the weekly's looking green. So the weekly is looking very good, folks. Look at that. Looks nice on the weekly. And of course, if we have a look at the monthly here on the log scale, have a look at the monthly here. We've got the monthly, it's red at the moment. So on the log scale, obviously if we take the log off there, it's still red. So yeah, that's where it's look at that chart, man. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's the monthly on the Hex chart there. That's pretty badass. But got a nice little uptrend going. But we've got Pulsechain coming, folks. So the game's going to change fast, like a shifting wind, man. It's going to change that fast. So maybe you're in a boat, you're cruising on the out of the bay there. You're sitting back on the boat there, lying there with your friends, and suddenly the wind just flicks its turn, and it's all hands ahoy because you're about to go hardcore into the sandy beach. I don't know, something like that, some analogy. But cool, that is what we're at the moment. So cool whip there. Nice one, Stephen. Appreciate the input there. All right, so what else we got there? Blockchain Twitter says Brazilti. And Blues in the house with the 5x. Sandy Beach says Hex token. There's a new sacrifice on Hex Pulse info for Genius. Let's have a look at that. That's interesting. And we'll pull up the new sacrifice. It's great to get so many comments in the chat there. The community is the best, eh? Right, sharing is caring, as we say on this channel. We got the Genius sacrifice. Okay, sacrifice for financial freedom and transactional freedom. Jenny, the genius sacrifice here, and of course, what do we got here? 31. What? Are you kidding me? What the heck? What the heck is this? 31 million, 31.5 million. Are you kidding me? You are kidding me. What? Are you kidding me? 14.2 million, 7 million. Are you serious? What the? Over 7 wallets, over 1 million. Are you joking? This is unbelievable. Man, oh man, it's dominated by 3 addresses and then a couple others after that. The second day here. Wow. What do you get? 100 per $1. 100 points per $1. It's going to end on the 1st of June. What the heck is this project about? Wow. Okay, I haven't seen this. This is brand new. Have a look at this. Hyper yield AI-based blockchain deposit. Okay. The Genius token is the first high-yield blockchain certificate of deposit utilizing AI, designed to increase in price and preserve value over time. Pretty interesting. It's got some videos, but we won't read that. All information provided on this website. It's cool. Genesis token pre-launch roadmap. I don't know. I haven't followed much of this at all, so I'm going to have to do a bit of study on this one. Legacy token sale ongoing. Buy Legacy Genius 3.33x bonus per dollar. Sacrifice crypto for bonus. May the 4th to June the 1st. And then Genius launched mid-June. First AI-powered high-yield blockchain. What is Genius token? Is an Ethereum and Pulsechain and possibly Binance smart contract-based smart contract designed with AI to self-regulate and increase in value for its users over time. Is immutable, cannot be changed, and there's no admin key. Genius is designed to enforce deposit. It's done by incentivizing users to lock away their value for a length of time promised by the end users with incentives and maths that automatically adjust based on the timing. Okay, there's a roadmap there. Development of product, February. March, development of product, hedging, mining software, and then development of product for hedging crypto wallets. So cool. Okay, that's interesting. How it works. Do we actually leave that? Oh, it shows that how it works. It's got a cool video. I'm going to have to read this a bit more, but interesting. Just because it's got AI in it, may or may not be good AI. but we will see what that's like. Interesting stuff. So thanks for pointing that out there. That was pretty cool. I'll have a lot more looking at that one. Thanks, Sandy Beach. Shot says, have you seen Pulse LN new Fiat on ramp? Will that work in conjunction with PulseX or completely different layer 2? So that's going to be doing Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, the hookshot. So yeah, we have talked about it a couple of times. That's also on the list. So we go to sacrifices. That is also in there. That's Pulse LN here. And of course, you can go to the website. How much they raised out? Over almost 600,000. Pulse N, and they are doing Lightning. Use Cash App, Bitfinex, no KYC or any Lightning enabled exchange to go from Fiat, cash in your bank, to PLS and other Pulsechain assets in a second. That's pretty cool. So I definitely think this is going to have a pretty decent market to it. Obviously, you got to get the word out. Got to, it will slowly spread, word of mouth. Hopefully, they may have some marketing budget there, YouTube promoters potentially, or something like that. Just get it going. But yeah, that's a good addition to the ecosystem for Pulsechain, this bridge. So very, very cool. Pulse allows you to swap PLS and Lightning Network for BTC less than 10 seconds for low fees. So cool. I think that's great, and definitely this is looks like a good project. So like it a lot. Anything that adds value like that, that's clear, like a clear utility, it's got to be good for the ecosystem. Coconut says, "Woo, Maxi stake every year is a fire idea." Yeah, definitely, and some hybrids, right? Possibly some new features be interesting to experiment with. Like, that doesn't have to be the same product. They could just relaunch every year, that Maxi project. And of course, Maxi's sitting at the moment at 14% above Hex, but we'll just switch it over to the US dollar price. So currently 20.3 cents at the moment. So yeah. A new Maxi backed by PulseX and Pulsechain. Oh, Matt Brazalji, that's it, man. You're right, Brazalji, your head of strategy. Well done. That'll be great. Yeah. Love it, Brazalji. You're man. Can you see it? Can you see these products just getting more pumpalicious all the time? So it'll be so good. That is a really good. So I would like to see that. Now, the cool thing about this, of course, it just keeps eating up big supply of the market. So we've got this big 3 arrows stake coming out with $1 billion, and of course we just did 294 million locked away, right? And of course, we had products taking this much Hex off the market. So we've got these super stakes coming off, taking supply off the market on Hex, and this is on both chains at the moment, obviously. But then you have all these super buyers coming in, and also coming in. So they're not just they're buying, and they're also coming in. And I guess a certain amount of Maxi was also bought, and that's staked. Now you got the Hex Investment Trust coming in, got other stuff coming in like that. It's really, really cool. And who knows what big stuff's coming in to take Hex off the market. It really is. Hex does look good. I really do believe this is going to be the last year for Hex under $1, given all these things coming, right? All these big things that are happening there. I'd like to see new innovation products doing that too. So everyone's seen Hedron. Now they've now seen the success of Maxi. There's going to be new products coming here to take the Hex off the market, and of course give people more contemporaneous benefits in the meantime. So I'm really loving that. That's really good. So really good idea, Brazalji. You might want to get your Solidity team together to set that one up. But that is a good idea. Eurasian says, do we have to do any bridging to EHEX, or we still sell it on ETH exchanges? Excuse me. Yeah, so you have to bridge over anything that's on Ethereum. You'll have to bridge over there, Eurasian. Sorry, my throat's got a little frog in it. And so that's going to be through the wrap process. There's going to be third-party dexes as well. There's going to have to be liquidity pools set up for the pairings as well. So that's yet to come. So if we don't swap on the PHEX, or should we swap to if we don't swap it to PHEX, or should we swap it to PHEX? A little bit are we, if we don't swap, or we should swap? It's up to you what you're going to do if you want to swap tokens. So I'm not quite sure of your question, that particular one there. Crypto Theo says, "What's up, Superman? Thank you, brother. Let's talk about Hedron. I'm getting crushed on Hedron. Will it come back, and why?" Yeah, well, it's had the big pullback, so it will come back, but just the time frame is the question. Pulsechain should help it a boom back up. I think a lot of these big community tokens. Remember, Hex is kind of the main one, and then you've got the Hedron and the Maxi now as kind of the two two children, as it were, two children. So I definitely think it's got a very good chance of coming back there. And now's the DCA period. When it has a big pullback, that's when people are up. You know, it's you got to hold, you got to either accumulate or just hold on as time goes by. So it's kind of the way you look at it. Once again, depends whether you bought it. If you bought it as opposed to having your airdrop. So that obviously a lot of people have just had the airdrop. So like I say, 95% could be in the game, but 85% pullbacks, good DCA area. Coconut says 3 pulse chat feature is very cool. Yeah, well, there seems to be quite a few people on that. If we go to free pulse, they are apparently they're scaling this up, so they're gonna have was it private messages or something like that, just like beefing this whole thing up. So I think they're gonna scale this site up into more of a social platform. They got 648 people, it says here on there at the moment. It's a bit quiet there at the moment. I don't see a lot of comments, but there still seems to be a lot of people there. All right, what else we got going there? Coconuts, is it the first of its kind? Never seen it before. The AI, I guess you're talking about. I'm not sure which one that is. Hey, good to see Island Life in the house. Good morning. Gents is in the house. I think Wales are timing PLS launch with staking EHEX to get some extra liquid X on the launch day to swap PLS to PLSX. It doesn't mean that they're targeting selling EHEX, just my view. I agree with you there, Gents. I agree with you. I think that's a good comment. One Sandyman says, let's get it on. Says one Sandyman. Yeah. We're waiting, man. We're so patient. We have been so patient on this channel, man. And of course, I was covering Hex and stuff like that on the previous channel. Back in the day, at the beginning of Hex, I used to have a channel called Cryptomania was my channel at the beginning of Hex. Cryptomania, but I got taken down, part of the YouTube purges in early 2020. Then, of course, I have got other YouTube channels, and I have covered it on those channels. Josh said Shiba Inu Pulse. Yeah, Shiba Inu Pulse. I like that, Briz. And Briz, you're on a roll there, Briz, honestly. They should have named it Shiba Inu. Yeah, that's true. Shiba Inu coin. Yeah, lol. That's funny, man. I'm back. Sorry, says Craig. What else we got going now? I'm going to jump through a couple of these. There's no such thing as AI, first red flag. Yeah, it's all just rule-based stuff, It's just rule-based stuff. Pure red flags is shifty shift. Pure red flags. What else? D Deli's in house. Hello, legends. Good to see you. Founder could be sacrificing from their own wallet to hype a rug pull, says Craig. That's always possible. They want to keep that liquidity going up there. 11 days till launch. You also probably not. I have my fingers crossed, says D Deli. And you're talking about the Hex now, so we'll jump back to the Hex. Yeah, so Hex at 17.6 cents at the moment. Since like BitConnect, right? AI to make yield. How? By trading. Sounds like it just stakes your Hex for you and promises to give it back. I'll look more into it. I'm going to look more into it too, Pulseology. The only thing I would say about it is that that raise for it is just stupid. That raise for it is just are those numbers real? And it's like I look at that raise and I go, really? Who? Obviously, this big money in here, 9 million, 6 million. Is this real? Unbelievable. And yeah, so sorry, that's liquid lines. Let me get out liquid lines. That sucks. I hate it when I get in the wrong one there. Genius one there. Let's look at Genius. Sorry, 31.6 million, man. That's a massive raise, man. That's some crazy stuff right there. Look at these big wallets, man. Look at this crazy stuff. Woo! Let's look at this transaction. Genie Trust here. From this wallet. Let's have a look at this wallet's got on it. No, it's too much data there. Man, overload. Anyway, I'd like to see if that stuff's actually real. That's the one thing I'd like to look at. Next Hex competitor, another Hex competitor says tip top. Yeah. Head of strategy says Prasad, you are head of strategy. We got some good ideas there, Briz. Pulsechain says, how about Maxi 13, Maxi 11, Maxi 9, Maxi 7, Maxi tokens? Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool too. Sandbeach says, Biz with Briz tomorrow. Yeah. That's your new show, Biz with Briz. Yeah, that's funny, man. What else we got going? Briz, I'm your biggest fan, says Craig. And Craig Wall says, hello, do you think it's safe that PLSD PulseDogecoin to claim any views. Once again, we can't give you suggestions of whether to claim or not. A lot of people have claimed, so that's all I would say. Obviously, there are some good videos out there. Top Gun Hexadm has gone through it. I've gone through the website. I've gone through briefly some of the basics of the contract on as well. Hexadm, Top Gun Hexadm's done a read through. He has a background in coding and mathematics, but he's not a Solidity coder. But it doesn't look. I mean, just looking at the contract, it looks okay. So once again, David Fettis got a video on how to claim through Staker Wrap. Matty Allen's done some videos on it, although his ones are more, he's not a Solidity coder. So once again, those are some of the better links. You just have to, feel comfortable. Like I said, with about 15.5% of people have claimed it so far. Seems to be okay, but once again, it's really up to you. They're great. We can't make that decision for you. Of course, nothing is investment advice. You need to do your own investment due diligence. Lies Beneath, hello, how are you today? Hello all, here's the ultimate strategy. If you want the ultimate strategy, EHEX, PLS, PLSX for the win, and Hex, of course. So nice, I like that. Well done. That's awesome. What else we got here? RH tweeted telling everybody to check balances as soon as possible. Oh, really? Let's have a look at that. Bam, we're going to check RH now and get into some of this. Where it is here. Please check your balances and ask anyone you know who'd sacrifice to do the same. So in other words, this is he wants to finalize these sack balances. So this is a good sign. He really wants these to get to the final numbers. If not this one, then the next one. So definitely go out and check there. I will post this on the community tab after the live stream, as I always do. So yeah, definitely check your balances there. So thanks for that, Crypto Tycoon. Richard just tweeted, yep. And what I meant is when we bridge EHEX, would it be PHEX, like swapping EHEX? So when it's going to be over on, if you're bridging on the official chain at the moment, they're currently calling it EHEX. So yeah, I don't know whether they've got with all the terminology they're using at the moment is right, because they had on PulseX, and I don't know if they fixed this up, but they had PulseX. They had the coin as Pulse, and then they had the wrap Pulse as Pulse, PLS. So I don't know whether all the signing is the best. But when you bridge stuff over, we've done bridge stuff here. There is wrapped Hex. So if you send Hex from the chain, from Pulsechain to PulseX, it's going to be it's called EHEX and PHEX respectively on each chain. So EHEX on the Pulsechain. But I presume that there's going to be liquidity pools to actually get the ERC20 token swapped to the bridging wrapped version. So that's we're expecting that at the moment. So how do you sell EHEX on Pulsechain? Basically, you do it through PulseX. So PulseX would be once you've done the wrapping over the bridge through Pulsechain. So I've done videos on that. You would let me just log on here. So what you've got the bridge, and then you got PulseX. So the bridge, you would swap over the Hex. So if you're on Ethereum, you have to switch over. Now on Ethereum, there's going to be liquidity pools set up, right? So those haven't happened yet. Let me just get over to that one. Oh, which chain? I'm trying to swap again. I hate the double switch on there. I'm not sure why it does the double switch, but it does it anyway. So if you're on Ethereum, represented by the Rigby Test Network at the moment, you've got PHEX on this side. So you've got PHEX here. So that's what this is the wrap version. Now, obviously, there's going to need to be a liquidity pool with the ERC20 version because this is the wrap version. And then, of course, on the EHEX, on the Pulsechain side, it's called Hex. So that's what they've called it at the moment, because that's going to become the principal, the senior Hex, as it were, at the moment. So if you switched over back over to Hex on here, you're going to have Hex on there. So they've called it Hex there. So the other one I was thinking of was EHEX. Sorry, I was confusing EHEX there. So Hex on Pulsechain is going to be called Hex, and PHEX is going to be on the Ethereum side. But of course, that's going to be the wrap version, not the ERC20 version. So there would need to be a liquidity pool linkage there, something like that. So cool. And then of course you'll be able to swap that here with the swap hex. If I've got some, you got to be able to swap hex here for something else. So there's hex, swapping it over to pulse hex, for example, as well. So hopefully that answers that. Bro says mine seems good. The sacrifice bounce is cool. Shiba Inu Hex token in, says Craig. Token cans. Craig, you're terrible, Craig. Get out, Craig. Get out. You're a funny man. Craig likes to set me up, man. He's such a setup. He knows I read the comments. DW says Richard has just said everyone to check their balances. Could be the final one. Yeah, very positive. Where's our green candle from the check this out balances? So there we are. Hey, there's our green candle. Let's have a look on there. I'm gonna screen that up. We're going to change that to the hourly. Let's change it to the hourly. That way we've got a better view. We've got no real support chart now. We had I guess we got this one. So let's put in a line. We've got a new line now, and on the daily, bam, we're going to change that. We're going to take away the arrow. We're going to fibrillate that. We're going to change it to orange, and that's currently our support. It's probably a bit too thick on the thing there. We're going to do that. So that's our support level now. From this point through there, that's our support level. So we've got to outdo that one. So cool. We're going to make that go up a bit higher, and we've got to keep going up there. So cool. Let's see how we get on. How we got here? We've still got a higher low. We've still got a higher low. That's cool. That's cool. So we've got a higher low here, so we've got a higher low. So this is our previous low here, and what is that price there? 20. So that's the bottom of our trading band. We actually bounced off the bottom of our trading band. Isn't that interesting? Back here, that's pretty cool. And now we've got this higher low at the moment. So we keep this higher low. That's looking good, and we're bouncing off that. That's cool. We've still got a nice uptrend. That's nice. All right, very cool. Let's jump over to Hex Token. Craig was saying maybe the founders sacrificed their own money to make it look more popular than it is, luring in investors to rug them. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll try and have a look at that a bit closer there later after the live stream when I get a bit of chance to, do some investigation. My balance is that was always the fear, Brazalji, was to do that sort of thing. So we will see. We'll have a look. But like I say, my balance is correct. It was originally 1 million off. Woohoo! A good one, D-Deli. Fantastic. So check your sacrifice balances, folks. Let me pull that up, actually. Let me pull up Richard's comment again, if you haven't done that. Let me open that up. So this is the sacrifice balance checker. So you can do that. Check your sacrifice balances. I posted that link in the video description there. Boom. All right, on the chat. So you have a video chat there. I'm going to do that. Get your copies, everybody. Let's get ready. Absolutely. And we're going to jump through some. Hey, CJ's in the house. Yeah, baby. Good to see CJ. Mid-May, says Brazalji. Mid-May's looking better now. So hopefully the market responds to that. So I said all we need is to onboard a couple million people out of the billions and billions of people. That's true, Brazalji. You got the math. That's the maths. Pulsechain is a no-brainer for humans and who want to make money. Absolutely. The sacrifice class are going to be the new crypto barons of the future. That is true. Well, and baronesses, says Sandy. Nice one. Nice one, Sandy Beach. That's so good. Yes, that's so clever. Sandy Beach is always good with the comebacks there. Hey, looking into that genius token, looks like a rug. Twitter follows are paid bots, and actually sacrifice is only at 4K in it. Your website is rush, scam warning. Yeah, Hex Machine, I was really shocked by that too. So yeah, don't go throwing your money in genius. That 36 million was just incredible. Look how much economic energy it took to put into Pulsechain and to liquid loans. And of course, AI is trendy. But like I say, like Briz says, it's be very careful. So thanks for the Hex Machine. It's really good advice. Nice is thanks to Sandy Beach. That's called info. That is info. Hey all, Rango announced it. Hey all, practicing and testnet is a must before the fork. That's one of the reasons that I love your streams. It lies beneath. Yeah, absolutely. definitely practice with the bridge and with the Pulsechain. So the bridge there, I've done videos on this. Check the channel. We did whole videos this on a couple of days ago. We did both the bridge and Pulsex. So definitely check out these two, the bridge and Pulsex. You should know how to use that before launch. And of course, don't forget to check your sacrifice balances as well. All right, Hex here. Let's zoom this out. We're on the hourly now. Gonna have a look at this and pull this up here. So hourly here, we've got a higher low, which is still holding. And of course, we've still got a support uptrend on the hourly. And we're still going to try and have another go at trying to target 20 cents. But this sacrifice, this from Richard is really, really bullish. Let's go away and have a look at Rackham. See if Rackham's been tweeting out any goodness. He's been giving us lots of little cool stuff lately. Cool. Let me just scroll back a bit further. To scroll down through some of these. What's this? 5th of May. 5th of May. So apparently this is an interview coming up with this chap, a pretty big dude. And of course, the whole 20 cents, that's going to be closing out there. And I'm going to have to refresh this one more time. Go scroll from the top. I do need to get myself logged in here so I can stop doing this refreshing. This goes for all of you. Yes, I make people even in my own camp nervous at times with my predictions. Look at the entire cryptographic industry. Got it. Look at the deficits in it. Got it. Is there a real issue needing fixing? Got it. Who has the real world experience? There, sit tight. Then sit tight and watch the process happen. The math does not lie. Your permission or belief is not required. But if you simply listen to me, you may actually be the winner this time. I'm telling you that the world will not stop trying to get rich quick. There we are. I don't know. There's a bit of context there. All right, cool. We'll jump out of all those. LN there. Yeah, LN looks good. The other one here, we'll keep an eye on this one. The thing with the 100-day, I made this point. The thing with 100-day launches, it can be a bit like a fishing trawler with a big wide net out, and you just keep trawling it, for 100 days. That's the issue there. So we'll see. Definitely check out some of those comments there. 17.7 cents. Posting Twitter warning now, says Hex Machine. Yeah, really, really cool. So that was the warning there about the Genius token raise. Looking into that Genius token, it looks like a rug. Twitter followers are paid bots. The actual SAC address only has about 4,000 in it, not millions. Website is rushed. Scam warning. Yeah, and it's a shame that who's that running by? That's Liquid Loans. So this site here needs to be a bit more careful with the sacrifice balances that sacrifice projects it puts on it. They need to just take a bit more care there, given how many people are using the site to track sacrifices. So I'm not sure who they've got a Telegram group there, but I thought this was Pulse, how to Pulse, but I could be wrong about that. I don't know who runs this site. Cool. All right. So what do we got here? We got Hex at 17.7. We got Maxi at 23.5, and of course the premium on Maxi is running at 14.6%. You can see that there. We've got Hedron running at 11.02, so that's actually come up a little bit there. We look at the 15-minute chart. It's got a little bit of a nice move up there. We've got PLSD at $2.69. And we've got PulseDodge, the original, at 1 cent. And I kind of like PulseDodge. I'm going to be thinking about PulseDodge myself. We've got P33 at 58 cents here. So cool. Like I say, my strategy is Maxi Richard Hart tokens. So we're talking, 95% or maybe 90 even higher. And of course, I do like to have a bit in more speculative plays. But ultimately, I think the best returns are going to come from Richard Hart tokens by a long shot, like a massive mile. So that's kind of where I feel. The other thing, of course, is that, for disclosure, I've done the liquid loans and the internet money. Those are my two sacrifices. So I haven't really gotten to the other ones. So yeah, I do think probably a couple of these are pretty good. on sacrifices. But yeah, I think people are exhausted. People want to save that dry powder for the pulse, man. Accumulate pulse and pulse Hex, Hex on Pulsechain, Hex on ETH if you want to get more after the volatility. Sometimes when there's volatility, there's always an opportunity. To accumulate a lot more volume. So that's going to be interesting to see that play out. No one really knows. We've got a lot of players. We do know that there's obviously Pulsechain is going to be the Pulsechain. Those assets on Pulsechain are going to be very attractive, and that will capital will be allocated to it. So it's going to be fascinating. And then within Pulsechain, we'll have ratio trading as well. And I think you guys know my position on that with PulseX, then X on Pulsechain. Having the funds valuations and funds flow through that direction. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It didn't say thanks Hex Machine. Yeah, nice. We got through some of those. Let me have a look here. Thanks Hex Machine. Precisely says info. Yeah. Did I already read this here? No, I felt like I've come back around here. Exact balances are all good now for liquid loans. Exact balances are all good now for liquid loan sacrifice balances. Really, Mick? Have you got a warning as the issuance of liquid loans? Let me look. Plug up liquid loans. I'm going to pull up some of that and connect. And we're going to go to Twitter and let's see if they've got something out around that. Pulsechain validators. No. Let's go. Topcon Hexadine with the Jesse the Pitbox. That'd be a pretty good interview. Why Pulsechain may be bigger than you realize. No, so nothing out there on the liquid loan sacrifice balances yet. You tease me with that. You tease me. Eurasian, very quick question. So if you wouldn't, sorry, waiting for LA balances. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, liquid loan balances expected to come out with the UI for public testing. That's kind of where we're sitting there. Eurasian, you're gonna. Eurasian, if you're gonna have to put some context around your questions because I don't know what you're talking about there. What if you wouldn't? That's two negatives together, kind of almost. What if you wouldn't want to sell anything on Pulse? Wouldn't want to sell anything on Pulse. That's hard to. So do you need to do anything on it? I'm not sure what. I still don't know what you mean. If you've got Pulse, I wouldn't sell your Pulse. That's kind of that. That's my suggestion, not investment advice. But if you've got Pulse, I wouldn't sell my Pulse. In fact, if anything, you want to accumulate more Pulse. And my view is to accumulate over the first 3 to 4 months, particularly targeting any dips. But you're better off up the front, trying to get more volume up the front, at least, but not straight away. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of incredible volatility. But if you want to accumulate more volume, that's kind of your strategy over the first 3 or 4 months. So yeah, you don't have to do anything with Pulse. You can stake with the validators and earn more volume. And of course, maybe depending on how big your Pulse bags are, you could potentially stake with liquid loans. But there's likely to be other third-party opportunities as well. But you have to be very careful with them. As soon as you take your Pulse and you put it into smart contracts, you have to be very careful because if that smart contract is malicious or faulty, then you can either get it locked away and never get it out, or it gets rug pulled. So you got to be very careful with that. But there is a safe way with the validators to stake their Pulse and just earn a bit more volume, and will be a few opportunities there. Otherwise, just hold them in your wallet. Just hold them. Let the price do its thing. If the price is going to do 100x, 300x, 500x, 1000x, 10,000x over say a 2-year period or 3-year period, you're just going to let it sit back and relax, man. Just do nothing. People that sat back on the Hex and did nothing just laughed themselves all the way to the bank, right? So just remember that. Precisely says you can hold them and just let them sit. Yeah, that's true. No penalties for simply holding. No, the price play is the big play on Pulse. The price play is a big Pulse play. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to go staking. Don't have to do any other type of product. You can just sit on them and let the price do its thing. It is the main game in town. Pulse is the main game because it is the native coin of Pulsechain, just like Ethereum is the native coin of Ethereum. So just think of it like that. It's the big boy in the camp or whatever. So we don't typically say big girl, but big boy in the camp. So there we are. The Eurasian says, got it, exactly. I will not sell it for years, says Eurasian. And doing nothing is the easiest way not to get wrecked. Absolutely shifty shift. That's right. Philly Fortune says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. And doing nothing is a valid strategy. It is a do nothing strategy. is valid. And hey, look, a lot of people on Ethereum will get airdropped PRC20 tokens and 721 tokens. Their strategy is just to do nothing and just let the market price it up for them. So the prices start from 0 on Pulsechain, and for every asset. And of course, you can just sit back and do nothing. You get the airdrop, you got stuff on Ethereum, you get copied over on Pulsechain, and you just sit back, do nothing, let the market price it up for you. Thank you. The market's going to pull in liquidity, and put liquidity in the pairs. The AMM bot's harvesting, doing the liquidity setup. It's really a genius setup. It's really absolutely amazing. You don't have to do third-party contracts. Now, we talk about other projects here on the channel because they're coming on Pulsechain. All the economic activity of those projects will benefit people that are on Pulse and PulseX and Hex as well, indirectly. And so that's why we talk about them. But I'm a Richard Hart Maxi channel. I tell you, the best probability is in the RH tokens. That's what the whole thing will end up pumping. The whole Pulsechain will end up pumping those tokens. So that's the best strategy. And Lies Beneath comes in every day. Just about every day with the ultimate strategy, Hex, E-Hex, X, P-Hex, or a Pulse and PulseX, depending on how you want to do the names. But really is the ultimate strategy, man. You just sit back and watch it, man. You're going to laugh yourself silly, going, oh my gosh, because really, I'm going to say this, obviously not investment advice, but this is the best opportunity on the planet for you, the best opportunity on the planet. All the other asset markets, nothing's like crypto in terms of returns, and within crypto, nothing is like what's about to happen with Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. It's insane, and of course, you got the high probability of success. The timing is always an issue, so you got probability of success and timing. Those are two things to understand in crypto. And the probability of a success is once you get a bit better at assessing projects, that gets better. But timing is always harder to identify, as we've seen. Even for Richard Hart, he says, well, 2 more months, because he doesn't know, especially when you're building infrastructure. And then, of course, 1 month late, now it's 1 month, and maybe now it's 50-50, 2 weeks, 75% 1 week later, it gets to that sort of point. So timing is always difficult to get. Obviously, a lot of people, smart people, sacrificed in July last year and thinking maybe we got Pulsechain in 2-3 months, right? Some people will be late, but of course, here we are all the way. It's not October launch. Here we are in May already, and hopefully we're pretty close. It looks very promising that we're very close. We've got a lot of the dApps out, and we've got the sacrifice balances look like that he's trying to get them close to finish. He's basically that tweet out was basically a call. Hey, if you want to check your balances, mate, check them now, because we're going to go to finalize that. Once he finalizes that, there's no more review. There's no more revisions coming back out. He's just going to be finalizing that. Now, he may do a little bit of sweeping up afterwards, but that's going to be post official sacrifice list. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Would you advise farming, says Rango? No, not for the majority of people. I think farming is a far more sophisticated thing for people. There is impermanent losses. You have to understand the movement of tokens. So you need to do quite a bit of work on that. I would not, for people that are general crypto people, I would not advise farming. Maybe one-sided staking pools. That's an easy way of no risk. Just get the tokens, and then either keep those tokens or sell them for sell them for PulseX or Hex, something like that. And so yeah, I wouldn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest that. Once again, not investment advice. You have to do what you want to do. You're free to do that, of course. But once again, it's really a more sophisticated thing. I have got a video on, of course, yield farming introduction, and that includes a very cool tool. If you are going to do yield farming, and it's linked up to Pulsechain, I suspect it will be, is Vision APY. They do monitor the performance of your yield farming for you, and it's probably the best tool out there that I've seen. So if you do decide to do it, it will show you what your fees that you earned are, your capital gain or loss, impermanent loss, as we call it, is going to be in terms of the way the tokens move together or not move together, stuff like that. So you've got to learn a lot about that. So yeah, it's not just about putting into the liquidity pool, earning fees, and then taking your LP tokens, put it into farming. It's just not that simple. There isn't a thing called impermanent loss, which could be technically an impermanent gain as well, depending if things move in your favor. So just take that into account. Like I say, the big play, man, is just sit on your volume and let the market price it up for you. If Pulse is going to get priced up like Ethereum, at least to some degree, 50%, let's say this 50%, let's say 5,000x, compared to, let's say, modest. No, that's only a third. Let's say 5,000x. Then you're going to laugh your way to the bank. Why take extra risks when you can just sit on it and let the thing pump for yourself? Don't get taken up by the excitement of new products when you know that you're already sitting on the best token out there. So don't get too excited. Everything else, like these other I say 5% and other stuff, and I'm not investing in that because I think it's better than Pulse. I'm just investing because I like to have a little bit of fun on the side, and I do think they'll do well. But it's Pulse and PulseX and Hex are the main game. Let me not be, don't be confused by that. It's the main game. Just sit on that, and you'll be laughing yourself silly as well. So cool. DB Cooper says, Huddle, yeah. Good morning. I'm way behind 1.5x to catch up, says Brennan. And EHEX, PLS, and PLSX for the win. Absolutely. Lies Beneath sums it up so perfectly there. I'm a patient person. I want it right, says Sandy Beach. Yeah. Balance looking good on the sacrifice, says Chris P. That's fantastic, Chris. And I know you had, was it 2 versions ago? You had some issues with that, but it's good to see that they've fixed themselves up. Rungo says, think I'll just hodl then. Yeah, I would just hodl. If anything, the first 3 to 4 months, you can accumulate more volume. Maybe you do that through DCAing or dollar cost averaging some income. But like I say, even with DCAing in the first 3 or 4 months, try and look for the pullbacks, right? Obviously, the cheaper you get it, the better it is long term for your returns. But definitely the first 3 or 4 months typically shown most charts best to DCA at that time. Now, this only applies to good projects. So Pulse and PulseX kind of no-brainers, right? So it kind of applies to those, and that's the way it goes. If you've got really risky, smaller projects with small communities, small this and that, and there's a big pipe and a hype on, I'm not talking about those projects, right? Those projects you have to be in early and ride the train for the most part. So otherwise, if you come in late on those, you normally get burnt. You're the ones that lose the money, and the early people take your money and they go goodbye, and they go and buy some Pulse and PulseX with it. And then they're laughing because they got even more bags. So don't be that guy or girl, as it were. I wonder what price will be when Bridge opens. So curious. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Really, no one knows. But I'm hoping for maybe a 10th of a penny, 20th of a penny is definitely in the game. Once it settles around that price, that'd be pretty amazing. Obviously, I don't think we could get like a stun mullet type of approach where. Even though there's a lot of people with a lot of volume, they don't sell because they know how many people are coming. If you know how many people are coming versus how many people are holding Pulse and PulseX, then that's going to be, that would make you say, well, maybe I shouldn't sell into this price pump, and maybe less people selling helps the price to go up even further because you got so many people coming. First with the ratio trading, but then of course with the airdrop and the ratio trading, but secondly with the bridge opening up. And we could have multiple bridges open up. That's the thing. We just don't know how many third-party bridges will come in with swapping decks, ones like Power City's version. So Power City, as I understand, has core, they have the bridge, and they have the NFT marketplace all pretty close to being finished. So those could reasonably expect to launch within a month, say, from Pulsechain. Maybe not together, maybe at different times, but they're looking pretty good apparently from the devs there at Power City. SF's in the house, woo-hoo-hoo! PLS and PLSX, T Daly says, yeah. Do nothing and be happy. Absolutely. And that's the big message there. I know we talk about a lot of these other projects that can be very confusing, very distracting. And some of them have good tokenomics, some of them have good utility. But ultimately, for me, none of them really compare to the high probability and relatively less risk than Pulsechain and PulseX and Hex do. So if you add all that up, once again, do your own investment due diligence, just my opinion, but that's where we're sitting at there. Rango's in house, smash like the people. All right, yes, definitely smash the like button there, folks. We're only up to 66 likes. We can do better than that. We tried to hit 100 likes there, so definitely smashed it out. What time is it now? I started earlier, so started really early, so we've still got plenty of time. We're going to rock and roll here. Let's jump over to we've got the daily stats. Has it come out? Yeah, it has. No, it's just closed. So we'll wait for day 885 is going to come up. We'll talk about that. Hex at the moment, 17.8 cents. Maxi is at a 15% premium almost, and that's currently sitting at 20.4 cents. I got it up there actually, 20.4 cents. So nice. Looks like a bit of a recovery mode on at the moment, so that's nice after the Bitcoin pulled back pretty severely. What's that, like $2,000-$3,000? Hedron is 1102. PLSD is $2.70, and we're going to have to do apparently some investigation of PLSD. So I'll try and do some further stuff on that. PulseDogecoin itself at almost 1.1 cent there in P33. This is the free Pulse meme token at 56 cents. So yeah, that's down there. Boy, what did it get up to? $2.48. Wow. $2.48. Look at that up there. And of course now it's down 77%. So this is the thing. See the rise here? If you're getting up here and you're going to be careful not to get caught at the top of the price rise after the big pumps. If you're new to crypto, be very careful of this kind of behavior here. This is common. Look at this. This is P33. Look at this. Let's go to another new coin. We've got Hedron. We've got a new Hedron on the daily. So we're going to have a look at P33 on the daily. There's a P33 on the daily. Look at that shape. We've got Hedron on the daily. Look at that shape. See? So be very careful if you're new to crypto, getting caught in this first part, the hype part, and of course not selling. And you don't know when the top is. Be very careful with that. This did a 12x up here, so massive 1200%. This one here, P33, did massive. We'll do it from the open there. We'll actually do it from here. That's pretty high. We'll do it from here. That was pretty much 900x and 9x there, so massive price bumps. But look, pretty similar patterns, and you can see that there pretty clearly. So just be careful out there. I know it's exciting, and you think, oh, it's going to go to the moon, never going to stop. But they do come down, right? And they come down hard. So if you buy at the top, you could be out of the money for a long time. And if the project's really bad, you may never get the money back. The price never recovers. So just remember that. So cool. What else we got there? So we're going to go back to Hex here. 17.8 cents. Looks like it's back on the move. Keep that chat going on Discord. Yeah, Discord. Don't forget to get in Discord. In fact, I haven't even got Discord up. I haven't logged on to Discord. Let me just open that up. If you haven't gone to Discord, definitely get in there. We're heading towards 350 members. So we're going to jump into that. And we've got 314. So definitely get in there. 350 members and get into the chat as well. You can see the chat's been going on there. Pretty cool. So definitely get in here and get into the chat. That's the way to go. So cool. The link is in the top of the video description. But don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff as well. DDLE says, can you ratio trade before bridge with the free airdrop coins? Yes, you can, DDLE, or just PLSX. No, you'll be able to do that. Sometimes the ratio may be more favorable with some of the other ERC20s. So remember, the AMM bot's going to harvest all liquidity pairs, so going to be flushing liquidity pairs with about 3.2 trillion pulse. So up to that amount. So it's about 2.5% of the supply. We're expecting pulse to be around about 131, 133 trillion in total supply. That includes the origin account. Of that, up to 3.2 trillion is expected to harvest the AMM bot. That'll be about 2.5%. Originally, Richard was talking about maybe up to 5%, but it looks like 2.5%. It could actually be lower, right? It could be 1%, something like that. But now they've got the V3 liquidity. I imagine it's going to be on the higher end there. And then, of course, there is the Teams pulse in there as well. And, of course, the public amount of pulse is going to be around about 12.3 trillion. So with the AMM bot pulse up to 3.2 trillion, that's probably about 6.5 trillion in the public hands. We kind of ignore the origin account, presuming it behaves similar to the Hex OA. And, of course, that relatively stays inactive, liquid pulse. Kind of what we're expecting. Now it can do certain maneuvers. Just like in Hex, it can do certain maneuvers like sacrifices, like staking, like Hex and Hex. It's staked for big payday. It does. I'm not sure if it's got involved with certain. I guess it can get involved with certain liquidity, although it has done that originally with the ETH address known as the flush address back in the day. And of course, that was a little controversial back with the recycling and stuff like that. I don't talk about too much because really it's old school stuff, but it can do things like that. So the origin account does operate what I call operational financial manager. It kind of helps regulate the Hex contract and the APYs and things like that with staking. So probably If we use gun to the accountant's numbers, which are the best numbers I've seen, that we have on that, and that would probably be around about, it was 13%, probably lower now, maybe about 10% of staking supply. It helps to regulate, maybe 9%, somewhere in that ballpark. But it helps to regulate the APY on staking as well. So it does, big payday staking, regulating APY with stakes out up to another maybe 7-8 years. And of course, probably has played in liquidity. And then other thing, of course, is the ETH that was floating around originally from the flush address, which got pushed from the Hex.com address, right? So when people were going through the AA lobby, they were putting in Ethereum and then minting their own Hex. And of course, that ended up getting flushed into the flush address. That's just kind of the ETH address. I always just call it ETH address, but it gets got pushed out onto dexes like ByDex and stuff like that. So lots of things happened back in the day. But of course, that's kind of what we could see with the Origin account on Pulse is doing, and with PulseX as well. Obviously, I think it's over 90% control of Pulse, and maybe about 78%, 77% of PulseX, somewhere in that ballpark. So that's going to be interesting to see those play out. How it operates on that chain, but we kind of put it to the side, say it's an active liquid Pulse and PulseX at the stage, but no doubt some of it will be used for something, particularly liquidity pools potentially. But we've got the Amen bot liquidity. That's going to be the stuff that kicks it off at the beginning, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so we might have about 17 trillion in PulseX and around about 12.3 trillion in the public, somewhere in that ballpark. So that's what we're expecting to play, and of course. That stuff's only held in a small amount of wallets. Let's say at best 50,000 for Pulse and 150,000 wallets for PulseX, somewhere in that ballpark. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. We know that a lot of people sacrifice PulseX, wanting Pulse. So obviously that seems like there's a demand there for ratio trading that could push the ratio trading away from 1-to-1. And then of course we've got the bridge coming in. Once bridge opens up, then everybody's coming, right? It's the party. You got a 1 or 2 days of the pre-ball, and then of course the bridge opens up and the main ball's on, right? So you want to, everyone wants to go to the pre-ball, right? And then it's going to be some after ball, I'm sure, but I don't know whoever's left standing for those. Those after balls are pretty crazy, that's for sure. Those after balls. So that's the way it goes. Jim Rat Crypto says, Hex Token, my favorite streamer. I appreciate it, Jim Rat Crypto. And hey, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You are people talk about you all over the place. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, man. Dave Gomez says, hello, everybody. Great stream as usual. Appreciate that, David. And Brennan says, Richard rushing to finish SAC balances to launch while the market is down. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, definitely. We want that. He wants to launch as soon as he can. Honestly, he's not waiting around. He knows, as I've always said on this channel, you want the asset values to stay up around where they are. You don't want, you definitely want Bitcoin going under 30K. Because that's a full bear market going to be on after that, and we could easily go down to say $12,000 Bitcoin. We don't want that. Now the structure has changed to the market. We've got institutional buyers and stuff like that. But if you get out of crypto and you go to the bigger markets, we've got now forex and bond markets and stock markets and property markets. You pull out of the whole economy in the financial markets, and they're all tanking, and the economy starts tanking. You don't want that. That's the worst case scenario. We don't want that. Obviously, within crypto itself, we want the market to stay kind of where it is at the moment, around this, trying to battle around 35 to 45 mark for Bitcoin. That's kind of where we want to stay. So cool. I'm not actually sure why the markets actually had a little sell-off. There might be a little. Let me just go to vesting. I haven't managed to check the market, so before I went live, I wasn't able to check the market, so I don't know what was going on there. Stock market today, Dow is its biggest loss since 2020 as tech sell-off turns ugly. So there we are. Looks like the tech sell-off is what led the way. Typically the FANG stocks, so Facebook, was it Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Or Alphabet, I think it is. So those are kind of the ones that make most of the value on the chains. Obviously Tesla as well, and of course if those move down, then the market's moving down pretty big. So yeah. So let's have a see whether it's got any drivers here. I'm going to have a quick look at the drivers. As Treasury yields climb, so Treasury yields climbing is not a good sign, particularly if that's the long-term Treasury yields. I'm not sure if it's got here. Amazon slump, Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, is not far behind its rising treasury yields in a year there. There have been some hope that as the 10-year treasury yield approached 3%, things might stabilize. Over the last 15 years since the great financial crisis, economies have slowed once the rate of the 10-year crossed 3%. I think it's a little bit disconcerting, and that's why the markets are reacting poorly to that. So that's probably a reasonable comment there. Markets, they just move, they overshoot all the time. They overshoot the stuff there. The next objective of 10-year treasury yield will be about 3.25%. I think that's the next reasonable point where you could see yields reset a little bit and see things sort of normalized. So that's pretty good commentary there. We now need Fed Chairman Powell Wednesday downplayed the prospect of a larger 75% basis price hook. Did that 50 basis points were in consideration in the coming months. So that's better. We now see a third 50 basis points rate hike is likely at the July FOMC and 25% basis for the balance of the year. That's not too bad. Honestly, that's not too bad. It could be much worse. If they would try to go much worse, they would really drive the economy even worse. Like I know there's been some negative GDP stuff out and things like that, but that would be really bad with high inflation. So I'm not even going to deal with the inflation issue, right? So it's just going to actually make things worse, make cost of housing and people that are highly leveraged worse. And that makes they're really trapped in my view. And so that's not too bad anyway. So cool. Consumer discretionary stocks added to stuff as well. Management notice. So yeah, energy stocks ended the day in red, even as oil prices climbed. So you can sort of see the markets there. All markets were down 3 or 4%. Interesting that the crypto market went with that as well. Oil there, still over $100 for oil. Gold at 1874. And stocks there. So stocks all down. Netflix, Tesla down 8%, etc. So pretty red market there. We'll see how we go with that. Cool. I wonder how many times that guy's been in that picture. What do you guys reckon? That guy's probably been posted holding that phone in so many articles. It's pretty funny. Anyone else having problems logging on the Sacrifice checker? I haven't done it yet, Daniel, so I don't know myself. Where's the New Zealand launch party at, says Doug? Well, it's going to have to be somewhere cool. Assuming we can freely move, we'll see. What's it? Hex Token House. Hex Token House says Brendan is like, you mean in the North Pole with my ice palace? Just copy and paste your wallet address. You do not have to log in. Joke, says Brendan. All right. So Dennis says, thanks, Sandy Beach. Can't seem to be able to open the site. Maybe refresh the site. Yeah, maybe refresh the site or remove your cookies or something like that. I don't know. Maybe just close it down, log it back on. Might help you with that. Sometimes the best thing is just to close it down, turn it back on. Might reset. So cool. How are we doing here? Hour and 30 minutes. Not too bad. 12:17. We've got the Hex data stats out yet. Let us go there. Yeah, they're out. So let's have a look at those. Day 885, 5th of May. And of course, prices down 11% there to 17.79. Now we were so close to 20 cents yesterday. It was teasing us 3 times at the tap the 20 cent mark. We got another payout, 6.035 Hex per T-share. Isn't that great? And of course, the price, up at 17.7 cents at times that. That's pretty neat. Have a look at that, what you're earning there on one T-share, 6.035 times 0.17756. So T-share would have paid you $1.07 US. So the more T-shares you got, the more dollars you earn. That's pretty much that. Pretty cool. The T-share rate up 11.7, 21,718. So if you do a 10-year stake, that will mean that you'll need about 7,250 Hex for that. So cool. Average stake length. Yesterday was our all-time high for the average stake length, 6.52, so just down slightly. The liquidity in pool, 139 million. What do we got now? We got 139, so just slightly lower. What's our lowest so far? 116 million was our lowest. I think we got down to about 106 million, but then some people added liquidity to the Hex pool, so that kept the pool up. So the prices wouldn't move as much either. T-shares, 10.6 million. We had a couple of decreases in a row there per day, so 10.6 million T-shares there. And what else is interesting here? Circulating supply down 93%. That was cool. We had a couple of big days there, increasing circulating supply. Obviously, the big T-share stake there. I think that's the one, yeah. And for Maxi. And what penalties? Just under 1 million. So really reduced their 1 million penalties. But look at this. This is pretty interesting. Change in total holders up 594. We've had some good days in total holders. And of course, the current holders up pretty nicely. 420, 407, 553, 428. Man, can you imagine what we're going to see with Pulsechain? Can you imagine what Pulsechain is going to be like with the Hex holders? That'd be insane, man. Honestly, the amount of wealth be created in Pulse and PulseX, and then flowing into the best savings product. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Total stakers up 144, so we had a nice little rebound. And those numbers looking better in triple digits, and a good day for the current stakers up 88. So looking around about 92,288. I think staker app's a little bit lower than this, but they're probably pretty close. I'm not sure why they're slightly different, but there's probably some little technical issues there, reasons for that. But 92,288. So heading up. Hopefully we'll get up to 100,000 stakers in no time at all. That'd be very, very cool. And we're starting the day off pretty much 5.992. Looks like the minimum now for Hex payout. We've got no penalties in there. So 5.992, looking good. That's what we're getting at a minimum at this stage. So cool whip on that. All right, 17.8 cents on Hex, 20.48 cents on Maxi. And that, of course, is around about a 15.2% premium over Hex. So looking good there on Maxi. That's been a good play for Maxi holders. And Hedron sitting at 11.02, possibly a good DCA accumulation phase now after the full 85% pullback. Obviously, this can do 95%, so just take care there in accumulating. And then PLSD is at $2.67. A little bit of possibly some controversy still around this project. I'll try and do some investigations on those claims, so try and get back to you on that one. 1 cent here on a PulseDodge, the original meme coin, sitting okay, and P33 at 55 cents. So not too bad day in the office. Don't forget to get into Discord. Links in the video description, of course. The markets at the moment, this was definitely up at 39,000 yesterday. I'm not sure where that is at the moment. Let's quickly check that. Oh man, look at that. Fell off the cliff. Let's have a look at one day. That fell off the cliff. What the heck? Is this chart right? I don't know if this chart's it just looked like this fell off the cliff there. So 39,955. Let me check up another chart because this is a little bit not the best for that one. Let me have a look at CoinGecko and see what the chart says there on the old Bitcoin. That looks pretty extreme on that chart. Yeah, this is a better looking chart. So this is a daily chart here. So 39,500. We were actually looking good, man. And so look at 7 day. 7 day here. Yeah, we were chilling out there. We were way down here at 37,700, and we get back up here 39, and we're almost up at 40k here. Trickling along there 39. Man, we just missed out on 40k, and then suddenly, bam, no, boom. Can you imagine the amount of people in long positions that got taken out with that? I haven't got any of the data, but there must be a lot of long positions on Bitcoin possibly getting taken out. Although 40k is a kind of a psychological level, so maybe not. But yeah, they would have got taken out big time. Boom, 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 all the way down to 36,500, and it happened so fast too. Man, oh man, wrecked on there. So be careful about margin trading, folks. If you're out there margin trading, that could have wrecked a lot of people's there. Daniel says, I'm going to go back to Hex price. Daniel says, Cedric says, maybe refresh the site. I tried, not working for me. Thanks anyway, says Daniel. Sacrifice checker worked good here, says CJ. Copy and paste worked checking sacrifice balances too. Hex Daily Stats is the greatest site. Whoever made this site must be a quant genius from heaven. Everyone should find the creator and bow down, says But Phoenix. That's pretty hilarious, man. And good evening, Miss Sandy Beach. Hey, But Phoenix, cool. So welcome everybody. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. It just takes 1 second. Beep, beep, beep. And don't forget to smash that like button. Beep, beep, beep. There we are. Those sound effects are brought to you by Pfizer International. Just kidding. All right, so there we are. So let's smash those likes. How many are we up to? We're up to let's have a look here. We're on the likes here. 80 likes. We can get 20 more likes. Smash it likes. We're going to get 100 likes. So let's do it. Let's just take out 30 seconds to smash the like. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 19. I missed 20, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. How did we do? Hey, we got 5 out of 30 seconds. That's not too bad. We're at 85. Hey, we're at 89. Woohoo! We got 9 new likes out of that. That's pretty cool. We're trying to hit that 100 though. Let's smash that out of the park. Definitely subscribe as well. That's how we go. That was pretty hilarious. I've never done that before. That was funny though. Although when I heard myself counting it down 30 seconds, I thought I was back at like preschool camp or something like that. The teacher was asking me to count to 130 or something. Boop, 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 says Craig. Absolutely. Hit the fire, says Bitfinex. You know, and boop, says Brennan. That's a laugh. That's hilarious. Yeah. Hey, we're up to 91 likes. That's pretty good. We did not too bad effort there. I don't know if I'm going to do that again, but that was funny. But at least doing it once. All right, don't forget to get in Discord as well. We've got 340 members there and heading towards 350 as our next target. So looking good. All right, so let's see what else we've got to look at the moment. I don't want to get too much. Let's look at GitLab. So GitLab is where the devs are working on Pulsechain. We had some little minor updates in here. But the cool things you may not have looked at is the issues list. So the issues list is over here. I've only had a little look at some of these, but they have issues that are open and issues that are closed. So we've got 229 issues that are closed here. And of course, so we've got the open issues. This is what the devs see from people, saying there's bugs or issues or something like that. So there's been a few interesting stuff here. Some of these are just non-events, maybe because people have done something as the user's fault, like the user has done something silly. But there have been other things like the PulseX. I think some of these other ones here. I'm not sure if it's the PulseX one here. Is this the one here? Not that one. Maybe the. So you can see the devs are responding here. So developer, I got Agress in there. So just responding there. So it's quite cool. If you go through those, it's quite interesting. You get a little insight into what's happening in some of these topics. Wrap PLS is named PLS, but should be Wrap PLS. So this was an interesting one. So this person here, Find a Bug, was talking about that in the PulseX DEX, the token for Wrap PLS with the contract number of 94B7, which is the correct one, is also named PLS as the native coin. Since this is a fork of ETH Uniswap DEX, it should be correctly named Wrap PLS. Very confusing for users. And so they've got the original Uniswap ETH Wrapped ETH exchange here. You got ETH versus Wrapped ETH, and then they've got Pulsechain, PulseX exchange for Pulse, Wrap Pulse, and of course both of them say Pulse when you look at them. So that's interesting there. And of course token info PulseX site PLS there for Wrap Pulse. So that was their comment there. The dev Brett Pelson wrote correct. The Wrap Pulse is named PLS in the DEX, just as Wrapped ETH is named ETH in the Uniswap DEX. And this is because you cannot swap a native token; it needs to be wrapped. The reason it's labeled PLS in the DEX is so people understand they are swapping their native token. They don't need to know that it's wrapped. That was interesting. And then, of course, he came back a week later, because that was a week ago, and he came back after that. Just reread your issue. I see your point. We'll look into this. So I'm not sure what will happen there, but that's sort of some of the issues that get raised. Pretty cool. Nice to see the devs responding to some of those there as well. We got lots of stuff. There's lots of issues here. I'm not going to go through them all. But hey, if you want to look it through that, just look through that on the GitLab, pulsechain.com. That's pretty interesting stuff there to go through. Cool. Yeah, that was pretty much it on there. Nice. What up to? We're up to 12:30, so coming up there, 45. Let's see how we're going there. Fine. I hit the like button. Happy now, says Toxic Hedgehog. Toxic Hedgehog. Can someone on the moderators get to that one? That guy is the worst troll in the Pulsechain Hex community. That Toxic Hedgehog is number one. I think he gets onto Gen Hex's site all the time. He's harassing their site. It seems like it's very hard for people to get rid of him. I think I was laughing at that, says Brennan. What else were there? Toxic, my favorite hedgehog, says Sandy Beach. Man. Craig is in the house there with that. Maybe it's now. It's now. We haven't seen Heinz Crypto. Is Heinz Crypto Haven't seen Heinz Crypto very much. I think maybe we saw him yesterday, possibly. Haven't seen Heinz Crypto for a little bit. So yeah, it wasn't me, says Craig. Toxic is a pain in my ass too, says Craig. This is the same Craig that likes to put in words in the chat that tried to trip me up on the live stream. That's hilarious. All right, cool. All right, let's see. We've got some emojis here. Going to post those out. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, if you're a Hex Token channel member, smash those emojis in the chat. That's how we roll. Okay, we're coming up to an hour and 45 minutes, and it's 12:30 p.m. here on Friday, the 6th of May. Now, don't forget, this is the first live stream of today. I will be doing a second live stream later today in about 4.5, maybe 4 3/4 hours. So that will be, we'll be trying to cover a new topic on that one. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Sandy Beach saying Cryptographics is live now, so you can jump over there. Just do a Hex, do a raid over there. Let's go to Hex Streamers, and you can do a Hex Token channel raid. That's cool. Spread the love, as it were, and the hype. So we'll jump on this one. And of course, you can jump over there and do a little raid. Very cool. Cool. So jump over there. Nice one. Okay, cool. So get into that. And yeah, a few people, Raid to Riches on there as well. So you can jump on there too. If you want to get into Raid to Riches, do a raid over there. So cool. And Raid to Riches doing some too.
That wasn't really hard.
Bam. And that's Raid to Riches and Cryptographics. So cool. Nice one. All right, cool. This is this Genius AMA, so that's interesting. That's the one that we're talking about being a rug pull there. This one, 2 million sacrifice. That can't be right. I just don't see that being right. So be careful with that one for sure. I've been framed, says Craig. That's funny, man. All right, take care, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the second live stream later on today. Thanks for watching. Let me just clack this out. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later. Represent. Bam. All right. Bye for now. Take care. See you next time.